before we even start, I wrote that up there because I want you to know that it's okay to cry. And that cancer is a horrible disease. Horrible. You ready, girls? Well, in May 2007, I was diagnosed with breast cancer after going through your normal routine annual checkup. I've now been in the battle for 4 years. I went through chemotherapy. I went to what I consider one of the best, City of Hope, and I'm still there. Did 6 months of chemotherapy and surgery. I thought I was cancer-free after that. I was gearing up mentally, physically to go back to work. But I do lots of CAT scans. One of the CAT scans showed that in January 2009 that it was now in my right lung. Now, during that time, I had to go through a PET scan, CAT scan, head MRI, full body bone scan. I went through all of that. It was a very fearful part. I mean, it was scary to wait for those results. You know, you're waiting for the phone call, or I'm waiting for the email from the doctor. I had all of those thoughts coming in. I had to learn at some point that those thoughts, those fearful thoughts, were not a good thing. God doesn't want you to stay fearful. It's okay to become fearful, but not stay there. It's not a good thing. Now, I've known the Lord for about 30 years now. And like most of you ladies here, I'm sure you've had years, months, whatever, of some blessings, some awesome times. Well, I have too. But I have to say that the best time of my life with the Lord has been these last 4 years, because I have learned in my heart what all those verses mean, that I will never leave you nor forsake you. I have a good plan for you and not of evil. I had to learn it here, and that is what you need to do. And I say this because I know most of you, and I know that most of you don't have cancer, but you're in a storm. Like they say, you're either coming out of one, in one, or getting ready to go in one. So the answer is still the same on how do you rejoice in the Lord. Now that I've been in this battle, and it's not my battle, it is, I've been in this journey, I have learned that I cannot rejoice in this trial without Him. I am weak. My flesh is weak. I am human. I have those thoughts, those what-if horrible thoughts that I'm sure hit you all the time with whatever storm you're in. They come in like targets. I had to learn that I couldn't do it on my own. And that's what you need to do. If you walk away from this workshop, my portion of it, with something in your heart, I want it to be that you're not going to make it on your own. You need to lean on the joy of the Lord. His strength, His joy, His hope. Well, you can try to be busy during the storm, but ultimately, you can't handle it. You can't handle it. So give up your hands and surrender to Him and go into His presence and be honest with Him. That's why I wrote that you can cry. You can cry in your storm, and you can say the good, the bad, and the ugly of your feelings. Be honest with Him. He can take it. He's not surprised by what you say or do. He already knows what the end product will be. Now, this morning as I was going and through my notes and asking the Lord for more guidance, I have this journal, one of many, which I started a few days after I was diagnosed 4 years ago. And it has been kind of like King David in the Psalms. You know, he starts off and he's like, meh. You know, this is how I feel. I'm fearful. I'm scared. Why aren't you taking care of this? Blah, blah, blah. But he ends up with the praise. And he remembers how faithful God is. He looks back at his previous trials and dilemmas and still ends the psalm with a praise. Well, as I was going through my journal, the Lord took me to a little over a year ago, February 10, 2010. Now, at this point, I had sort of a spiritual bucket list. One was that my son and his girlfriend would get married.